So finally, I'm excited to introduce to you all our guest speaker, Shirley Meng. So Dr. Shirley Meng is a professor at the University of Chicago and serves as the chief scientist at Argonne National Lab. With an incredible career spanning many prestigious awards, including the ECS Battery Division Research Award and a Faraday Medal of Royal Chemistry Society, Dr. Meng is a recognized leader in the battery space. She's the principal investigator of the Laboratory of Energy Storage and Conversion, contributing significantly to over 300 peer-reviewed journal articles, 2 book chapters, and 8 issued patents. With a PhD in Advanced Materials for Micro and Nanosystems and a bachelor's in Material Science, Dr. Meng's experience and contributions are invaluable to the advancements of batteries as well as clean tech. So thank you so much for being here, Shirley. We're so lucky to host you at our interview series. How are you? What's your state of charge today?
Thank you, Anika. I think, it's a great pleasure to see so many colleagues in the battery field, particularly so many women in the battery field. Yeah, thank you for organizing this. I think my state of charge is always very high. Yeah, I would say that, remain highly charged, but later I will share some secrets of how to always remain at a high state of charge so that I can have a lot of energy to give later.
We're all looking forward to it. All right, well, let's get started. Can you share with us a bit about your journey in the field of batteries, how you got here, some pivotal moments in your career?
Yep, certainly. Yeah, so I migrated to Singapore when I was 17 from Hangzhou, China. I would say that choosing material science and engineering was one of the best advice I got from my father, who's actually a civil engineer, who just told me how human history was always defined by materials. We had Stone Age, we have Bronze Age, we had Silicon Age, and so I think that was the first right choice that I made when I went to Singapore for college. I have to say I stumbled on the battery research a bit by serendipity because I was hoping to study airplane materials because I was fascinated by I was fascinated by the aviation industry, that how a metal object could fly so high and so long, and I think I failed at a internship interview with Boeing, I would think I was crying, and one of the professors saw me, and he said, "Shirley, you want to come over and work in my lab as an intern?" Yeah, so that was the first time I kind of experienced the oxides for superconductors, and that was a moment where I realized, the oxides has a lot of fascinating properties. And I think many people probably don't know. If you study superconductors, you will know Professor John good enough. And I think, later when I pursue my advanced degree, I would say my former PhD advisor, Professor Gerben Seder, also studied the superconductor materials and later, got interested in the battery materials. And Professor Goodenough's discovery of lithium cobalt oxide, he was really looking for superconductors when he stumbled on the lithium cobalt oxide. Yeah, so those are the moments how Shirley ended up with batteries because, it's all rooted in I would say, the magic of materials. Yeah, when you put atoms in the right place, you will obtain properties that are actually really fantastic. I mean, in the case of lithium cobalt oxide, really one of the best cathode materials, and it was discovered by a physicist who was into superconductivities.
Yeah, that's a wonderful story. And a fun fact, I also failed a Boeing interview before
Oh,
going into batteries. So I wonder how many more of us have done that, going from aviation to batteries. No, that's wonderful. And it's wonderful to hear about your passion for materials. Maybe you can tell us a little bit about your achievements on that side and some of the research that you've done.
sure, yeah. I'm not sure achievements are there yet because some of the startups we are studying are still at the very young age. Yeah, but I can give a
Hmm.
few highlights of what I have done in the battery field. So when I was an assistant professor back in 2009, 2010. My group was the first, one of the first few groups started really using atomic resolution, aberration corrected atomic resolution transmission electron microscopy to look at the
Hmm.
battery materials surface. So earlier work really shown that a lot of the cathode materials for lithium-ion batteries, their degradation mostly only occur on the surface few atomic layer. So our group was one of the first few groups to review that with very clear microscopy image. And that's for me, even though there's no patent, but I'm very proud of the work because I think we really showcase the importance of surface protection on the cathode materials. And I guess later, it also shows the importance of when we do recycling, we don't have to break all the bonds. You just need to find ways to repair the first few atomic layers. And for me, I think that have strong implications for the later strategies to go for direct recycling, because that's mostly how the cathode materials degrade in the batteries. The second important thing is really, by my, I would say, graduate students who came with some brilliant ideas of using liquefied gas electrolytes as, yeah, I think
Hmm.
the first time Cyrus Rosmergy, when he came, I was like, what? You can use gas as electrolytes. But after he explained, so he's the only student, I believe, that came to my PhD trainings with his own brilliant ideas. I was very fortunate. I think we, of course, had a lot of obstacles to overcome. But yeah, I think a liquefied gas electrolyte enable the batteries to operate at a minus 80 degrees Celsius, extreme
Wow.
cold
Hmm.
temperature. Yeah. So I think that is something our group is very proud of. And of course, South 8 is independent company now, but still, yeah, we are very we're very happy that we did some of the early groundwork. More recently, there's three passion projects. Yeah, the first one, absolutely lithium metal. Yeah, so I have been in the Battery 500 consortium for more than 7 years. It's really a group of scientists trying to tackle a problem that was half a century ago, and now we have the new tools, we have the new electrolytes. Yeah, so we want to see if we can make lithium metal work, and that
Hmm.
will potentially unlock, markets like eVTOL and something that humans think it's not possible, but I think it will become possible, I hope. Then the second really passion project, I had an opportunity to talk with the limiting factor a couple of weeks ago. I think some of you must have watched the YouTube video. I believe sodium batteries will be the next terawatt hour technologies. So my group, we work on many aspects of sodium batteries. And last but not least, the third one is really fascinating, absolutely fascinating on the solid state, all solid state batteries. When we work on all solid state, we really don't mix any liquid. And I have to say, to study how ion transport through solids and being able to make batteries that without any liquid, extremely exciting. I think the progress were made steadily in our research labs through funding mechanism with LG Energy Solution Frontier Research Laboratory. Yeah, so we've been extremely busy lately. Yeah, because of these three very, very exciting aspects of the next generation batteries.
Wow, that's amazing. You're truly working on the most groundbreaking research there is currently in the industry. You mentioned some startups that have spun off from your research. Can you talk a little bit about those and which ones you're excited about and what they're focusing on?
Sure, yeah. So first of all, because I took the job in Argonne National Laboratory 2 years ago, I think just for full disclosure, everyone should understand that it will be a while before I spun out my fourth startup. Because there's a lot of, yeah, so all the startups out of my research group surely has less than 5% equity. I don't have a significant holdings because I hope that it does not restrict my ability to help other companies and help the entire field, the rice water with for everyone, kind of help everyone, right? So the first startups is South 8 Technologies, which I already mentioned just now. Liquefied gas electrolyte, ultra low temperature performance, and then many people don't realize it's also a very safe options for battery operation. It is probably one of the few electrolyte innovations in the cylindrical format cells. The second startup, it comes out from the passion for enabling sodium ion batteries. So the company is called Unigrade. It's the similar modality. Two of the graduate students, Darren Tan and Eric Wu. Oh, I should call them Dr. Darren Tan and Dr. Eric Wu, that have decided that instead of taking a cushy, well-paid job, they would like to suffer through the startups, but they want to give a try for the sodium ion batteries. And the Unigrade specializes in the anode innovation for sodium. So they are working on how to replace hard carbon with a high energy density alloy-based anode so that the sodium ion batteries can have a higher volumetric energy density. And the third and the most recent one, less than 2 years old, is called exposed, like a legal term based on the fact, exposed technology. Yeah, exposed technology is actually focusing on recycling and upcycling, but we are very specifically focusing on LFP based cathodes. I think that in our assessment, yeah, I think LFP, LMFP will become huge in the next few years to come, and we actually cannot say, because there's no nickel, no cobalt, we don't want to worry about recycling. That's not the right attitude. We are in this.
Of course.
Yeah, we have to. Also, yeah, a lot of people don't know phosphorus is not phosphorus is also special. Okay, we should try to recycle, and then of course because of the lithium, I think all the battery folks, I think we should champion for design for recycling. Yeah, and I think that my partner, Professor Chen Zhen in UC San Diego has done a lot of groundbreaking work in the recycling. So yeah, he's recently tenured in UCSD. So I think we decided
Amazing.
yeah, we decided to give a try, and I hope those kind of entrepreneur spirit is really something very uniquely American. Yeah, if you talk to any other professors in countries in Europe or in Asia, yeah, there are people doing startups, but I feel like the ecosystem in the US is extremely supportive and encouraging. So yeah, the university also provide good resources. It become a fourth career pathway because normally people say, oh, I want to go to industry or academia or national lab. But now I think our students, postdocs have a fourth career path, which is starting your own companies. And I think that is such a, I didn't say entrepreneurship is absolutely the true American spirit. really appreciated that actually throughout my career.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And for all of the amazing women on the call who are looking for new opportunities, I think that's a great point that if you join one of these companies, you'll really get to participate in groundbreaking work in batteries and help move the industry forward. And I'm excited to see where the startups you mentioned go. I'm sure they'll go to great heights. Let's switch gears a little bit. Since this is a
Good.
Women in Batteries event, I wanted to ask you, Shirley, who is a woman in the industry that has inspired you throughout your career and why?
Wow. That's okay. You mean in the battery field, right?
Or it can just be in any field. Yeah,
Okay.
it's open-ended.
That's relatively easier. Okay, so my first role model in my life, I think for many women will be the same. My mom is really my first role model. Even though she's just an accountant, and she, didn't have advanced degree, or I just think that yeah, she taught me the most important thing any woman should realize. Yeah, financial and spiritual independence is the
Mhm.
absolute key. I was very little, and my mom always tell me, like, yeah, you need to have your own financial independence. So, yeah, I think that become a really important thing. Even, I've been married for more than 15 years, and I do think that I'm a independent person in terms of a lot of things. And of course, my husband is also extremely supportive. I do think, yeah, that's really critical for me, that my mother set the good value system for me. And along the way, I would say, I found inspiration really in Maria Curie. I was actually 8 years old, I guess. My dad gave me a book about all the Nobel laureates, and of course, Maria Curie definitely stand out because she's, I mean, I guess the life story she has. So far, I haven't read any interesting biography about her. I heard like Walter Isaacson, the same author who's writing about Elon Musk, is going to write about her. I think she has a fascinating career that are, you know, really made strong contributions to materials because she's discovered, radioactive materials. And then I think in Sorbonne, when I visited Paris, I think her um, you know, people says that her stuff is still radiating even now, because the half-life for certain elements are like 100 years. Yeah, so she's fascinating. And I remember uh, her famous quote, nothing in life is to be feared, but to be understood. Yeah, I feel that is since 8 years old when I read those wise words, it's been my guiding principle in science. I think, and in life, nothing is to be feared, just to be understood. The I would say in more recent years, I really admire the late Ruth Bader Ginsburg. I think she have done wonderful things for women everywhere in the U.S. So I try to find inspiration here and there, but I also want to say that along my career pathways, I met several very good female colleagues in the battery field. If you look at the entire battery field, of course, we have Nobel laureates. We have many brilliant guys like, Jean-Marie Tarascon, Jeff Dunn. Yeah, but I think we also have several very brilliant female scientists. I will just name three. The one that I interact more, Professor Yang Xiaohong at MIT, Professor Claire Gray at Cambridge universities, and I would say Linda Neza from Canada. I think those women really, they have, I think, made a lot of contributions to the battery field and set, I guess, the tone that women will work equally productive. And I think particularly I want to mention, Professor Claire Gray, she gave me several very good advice along my way that I have to decide, oh, should I go for more administrative work or should I stay with science? I think, yeah, I call them to ask sometimes. Yeah, I think in our life, we need some good support. And of course, I have many male colleagues who are really good advisors as well. But, there are certain things uniquely that women are facing. I think it's good, to have those people that you can call. So yeah, in short, I hope people find inspirations from all people, all women in the different fields, but it always helps that you have several women colleagues that in your field that they can kind of really understand the things you're going through, and then you can call them to discuss yeah. So I hope I have really made effort every year. Yeah, I think this is something in the women's event. I always ask people, question yourself every year. Yeah, what have you done for your female colleagues?
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah,
That's
I think I
wonderful.
make an
Yeah.
effort, yeah, in terms of recommending for rewards, awards, or writing letters, or supporting promotions. I mean, within my institution or outside. Yeah, I hope, yeah, at least I do a few things for my female colleagues.
And you mentioned how it's important to have female mentorship as well, or colleagues you can talk to because we're facing the same set of challenges in the industry. Can you elaborate a little bit on what those challenges are concerning women's representation and advancement in their careers?
Mm. Yeah, so without name names, yeah, okay, but everybody knows my positions, right? So I think it's hard to, yeah, I think there is, first of all, I highly recommend people to read or watch the YouTube videos by Claudia Goldin, the Nobel laureate last year in economics, who talked about the pay gap between men and women. That's a real issue, and we should try to resolve it. Okay. I, back in 2016, have fought the battle in my former employee institutions. I think it's a system problem. It's probably not any individual's mistake. And women also bear certain responsibilities because we are typically not good at negotiating.
Yeah.
And I want to tell people, yeah, I don't know how many times Shirley have been called troublemaker, bitch. Those words really, came back. I mean, of course, I have some friends as well, right? When people say those things, I was warned or I was told, and I just said, one of the good things come with age is that you feel completely comfortable. Yeah, it's okay. People call you troublemaker. I think, the important thing when we try to resolve an issues like unequal pay, it is important to actually collect data, remain calm, and do good negotiation. I think this is something I definitely lack at a younger age. I think you easily get very fed up and excited. And I will tell a lot of the females in the audience, yeah, I think a lot of the time our passion and our enthusiasm are mistook as being emotional. I think it's extremely unfair, however, that with certain trainings, we can overcome this barrier. And it's important, like, to fix these problems because you are not fixing the issue for yourself, but fixing the issue for the future generations of female colleagues. And of course, I think we made a certain significant inroad, and things are getting better. I think for all the women, Nika, if you next time have more programs, yeah, please teach women how to negotiate. I think we need a good mentor to teach us how to negotiate, without like being aggressive, without being called bitch or troublemaker. Yeah, I think that's art, and I'm still learning, and I think I would really be happy to share more experience. If in the in-person event, probably it's easier to share those experience. Yeah.
Maybe we can have a workshop on negotiation at our in-person events.
Yeah, I was once told the best outcome for negotiation is they will make all parties a little bit unhappy, and that's the best outcome. It should not be one party is very happy, the other party is very sad. It should be everyone is a little bit unhappy, but satisfied.
I love that. Yeah, that makes sense. And where do you see opportunities for women in the battery space right now? Where can women excel, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think that in the past, in the STEM field, in the engineering field, I was told, actually, there have been many, many times I questioned my leadership in engineering school. Why we have 15%? Why we have so few women, right? So the opportunities, I would say that modern engineering disciplines is actually heavily relying on data, heavily relying on highly automated process, or very highly skilled equipment, or so it is really something that I would say that women has advantage. Actually, we could master a lot of the skills in this area that I would say it's good for our career. When girls are very young, for instance, I always say, like, let them play more Legos, let them play with more things, and so I think it's really critical for the younger girls to actually, that's one of the things I resist watching Barbie movie. I absolutely no Barbies. Okay, my dad also. Yeah, it's all like radios. I mean, let girls experience those. So the opportunity for me, I think. Engineering job is highly financially and intellectually rewarding. And when we do energy right now, do the energy transition that needs so many engineering jobs and so much engineering talents, I think it's a golden opportunity, because they always tell me girls don't choose engineering because they love to more about people, more about positive impact of the world. What could be more people friendly and impact the world than energy transition, right? So when we do
Exactly.
all so I think the opportunity here, I really hope we will, at least hit gender equity in the energy transition field. And I think women, in the modern days, a lot of us, really well positioned to take up. I mean, if you look at the, mathematics, you look at the computer programmings, I think a lot of the girls have shown super duper talents when they were in, I mean, I teach undergrad, so I know that we are, suited, very well suited for this kind of work. I think, I hope all the girls, kind of find ways, the obstacles are there, and then we can talk about the obstacles. One of the biggest obstacles is about maybe you have to choose work-life balance, but I think it's something can be worked out, particularly, I see the title industry. I want to say industry actually doing better in terms of the supporting women in this engineering field. I think in battery field, we do start to see a lot of women participate in this industry. So
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, thank you for the insightful discussion, Shirley. Before we switch to Q&A, I'd like to do a lightning question round segment where you quickly answer some fun questions for the audience to get to know you better.
Okay.
All right. Are you ready?
Yep.
Perfect. Okay. What's your favorite battery chemistry?
Sodium battery.
Awesome. If you could design a new type of battery cell, what would it be like?
Oh, last for 30 years, never catch fire, 100% recyclable.
That's the dream. I know you mentioned some women we should look up, but do you have any influential book recommendations for us also to look at?
Yeah, Code Breaker by Walt
Codebreaker.
Isaacson.
What's the most promising emerging battery technology you've come across?
Oh, solid state, no doubt, no doubt. All solid state, not a drop of liquid, not a drop of liquid.
If you were a battery cell, what special performance attribute would you have?
Oh, wow, that's a hard one. Super duper long life.
I love it. Super
Last
duper long
for a
life.
century. Yeah, like Jeff has championed a century.
So you could keep doing amazing work. All right. Well, thank you so much, Shirley. That was great. Now like to open up the floor for our audience to ask any questions. So whoever wants